Yo, Bracy Skills Clinic's back with another video. So I lied. That last video is not gonna be my last video. I decided to do two videos today because I want to go into a topic that's been heavy on my mind. As a youth basketball coach and trainer, when you're coaching young kids, I'm gonna say young kids. I'm talking about 10 and under, so 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, right? When you're coaching kids of that age, we hear this thing in today's world like, hey, they're just kids, or take it easy on them. They're just kids, take it easy, blah blah blah, right? We hear that, and hey, to a certain extent, they're right. They are kids, right? They are kids. I don't believe in disrespecting kids. I don't believe in shooting kids' confidence down. I don't believe in that, okay? The goal should be to uplift kids and encourage them and get them to understand the importance of having fun with the game. This is not just basketball. This is football, baseball, whatever sport, right? You want them to grow a love for the game organically, right? But there's a thin line between not doing that and simply pushing kids. And when I say push, I mean like when they're doing something incorrect, it's okay to correct them. You don't let kids get by with doing things incorrect because they're kids. When you correct a kid, you're only going to allow them to get better in the long run. So, if you have to tell a kid to start over, do it over. No, it's not right. Dribble with the left hand. No, go back, start over. Do it this way. No, start over. What are we doing? You're supposed to do it this way. You're supposed to do it that way. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I don't see nothing wrong with being hard on a kid to a certain extent. Okay? Like I said, I'm not saying you shoot down their confidence. I'm not saying that you disrespect them and tell them that they're weak or you suck or they're never gonna be good or they're never no, I don't agree with that. But I do agree with giving them a type of criticism that's going to allow them to develop. Meaning that if they're doing something wrong, correct them. And if you got to tell them to do it over, no, it's not right, start over, do this, there's nothing wrong with that, man, because I want kids to come from my camp ready. If I'm putting my time as a coach developing kids, I don't care what age, I don't care if they're 6. I want somebody else that decides to coach them, or if they go somewhere else for a camp or another team or whatever. I want that person that they're going to know that, hey, man, they've been taught. They know X, Y, Z. They know what a triple threat is. They know how to jump stop. They know which hand to dribble with depending on which side of the court they're on. They know how to do these things, so they've been taught. Okay? And another thing I want to say is this. These kids are very, very intelligent. I'm going to say that these kids are more intelligent than what we were to a certain extent due to technology and evolution. So if these kids know how to go on an iPad, log in, and put the password in and work somebody's iPhone and go on demand at home and do all these technology, different things that they can do, that means they're intelligent. That means they can understand when they're doing something incorrectly. And they know exactly what you mean when you decide to correct them. Okay, when we're talking about education, because sports and education go hand in hand. When a teacher gives them a math assignment and they ask that kid, "What is 2 + 5?" and that kid decides to put 6 on the paper, that you don't just say, "Oh, well, just let them go by because they're a kid." Just let them go by because they're a kid. Or do the teacher says it's incorrect? And if that student keeps putting 6 on there, that teacher does what? Decides to either tutor that kid or calls that parent in. Hey, we got to have a meeting, man. So-and-so is really struggling in math. And we suggest that we get him a tutor and really start spending the extra 30 minutes to an hour on so-and-so's math issues. They tell you in school, when you're doing something wrong, they correct it. Okay, so I'm doing this video so that I let all these parents and these coaches know that when you have young kids, and you have a coach that's correcting them and coaching them, not disrespecting them, not shooting down their confidence, not telling them they're not going to ever be good and they're weak, and I don't believe in that. But if you got a coach that is pushing them to do things the correct way and is going to get on that kid until they do it correct, every time they mess up and make a mistake, they're trying to correct them so they can be better, please, I highly suggest that you let them, because it's only going to allow them to be better in the long run. If we're not going to get mad at the teacher for correcting the student for putting 4 + 1 is 7 on a paper, then we can't get mad. We can't get mad at these trainers and these coaches for telling the kid, yo, you're dribbling with the wrong hand. Yo, you're dribbling with the wrong hand. God, man, come on, you're dribbling with the wrong hand. Hey, man, we got to get this stuff right. Our job is to teach, just like the teacher's job is to teach. And our craft is basketball and developing skill sets. Allow coaches and trainers to do that, because it's only going to help the kid in the long run. Please, let's not be overly soft. I know society today is very sensitive. I understand that parents will do anything by their child, and they're supposed to. But at the same time, we got to make sure as coaches in our shoes that we're telling kids to do stuff the correct way. Your child, believe it or not, just like your child is a representation of you as a parent, your child is also a representation of us as coaches and trainers. I don't know if a lot of coaches or trainers think that way, but I do. I do. Every kid that leaves my program and that trains and spend times, I'm not talking about train one time and say, oh yeah, I trained with Coach Bracy and they trained one time in the month. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about kids that come to me on a regular. They're a representation of myself. So I'm on my kids that I see all the time harder than the ones I see once a week, okay? The kids that come to me all the time know I get frustrated when they don't do things right, because I'm with you a lot of times. So I'm going to make sure that you're doing it right. So let's, as parents, let's make sure that we are not bashing the coaches that are actually trying to develop your child and not trying to disrespect them or not allowing them to lose confidence. They're actually trying to teach and allow them to grow in sports. Okay, let those coaches and trainers do their job. We don't want to start getting soft, okay, on these coaches and trainers because, oh, they're just kids. Why don't you just let them slide? Oh, he traveled, but they're just, I see it all the time, referees too. Referees ref, and they call, you get that referee that's not scared to call travel because little Jimmy keeps doing 360 pivot, okay? The referees will blow the whistle, beep, travel. And you got some parents and even coaches that'll be like, hey, come on, man. You know they're just kids. No, they playing this sport. They playing this game. Little Jimmy need to stop doing a 360 Euro step spin move without dribbling. We going to call it travel because that's how he learned. That's how he's going to learn. That's how he's going to develop. And I be seeing parents get mad. Oh, man, they're just kids, man. Hey, man, they kids, but they playing this sport, bro. They got to learn somehow. So that's my message of the day, man. Allow these coaches and trainers and referees, now that we talked about that, allow them to do their job. We out.